Hi, my name is Kelsey Graham, and I'm an Associate Professor of Exercise Science and Health and Director of the Personal Trainer Certificate Program at Mesa College. In this brief video, I'm going to explain the biological stress response and offer you concrete strategies for navigating stressors in your daily life. The stress response is governed by our central nervous system and a particular part of our central nervous system called the autonomic nervous system. When you think autonomic, you can think automatic, meaning that this part of our nervous system functions outside of our voluntary control. There are two primary branches of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. The sympathetic nervous system is often referred to as our gas pedal or our fight, flight, and freeze portion of our nervous system. This is where the stress response lies. It's responsible for responding to stressors in your environment by doing things like increasing your heart rate, redistributing blood flow to your working muscles, shutting down digestive processes, and making you more acutely focused and aware. The parasympathetic branch of your nervous system is the exact opposite. This is often referred to as the brake or the rest and digest portion of your nervous system. This one governs when you're not in a stressed state, and it helps with long-term projects like reproduction, immune system health, recovery, repair, and digestion. Ideally, we'd like to be in our parasympathetic state most of the time, and then quickly turn on our sympathetic state when needed. Our stress response is designed to respond to short-term acute stressors, like a saber-toothed lion chasing us. Unfortunately, in our modern day, most of our stressors are chronic or long-term. Think of things like school, work, relationships, caring for family members, traffic, and even being constantly connected to technology. All of these things can be chronic stressors in our system, and our body has no way of determining that they're any different from saber-toothed tigers chasing us all the time. So, what can you do to navigate these stressors so you can better adapt to them and manage your mental, emotional, and physical health? One thing that you can do is intentionally tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. I'll provide some resources for how you can do that today. The other thing you can do is change the way that you view your stress response. Stress is biologically normal and adaptive. We want to be able to respond to stressful situations by mobilizing our energy and resources. If we shift the way we view stress from being dangerous, bad, and wrong to being something that we will likely experience in life on a regular basis, and something that can actually help us mobilize or increase our energy to respond to the stressor, to reach out to others for help and support, and to highlight the things that we find most valuable in life, this can actually change our physiological response to stress over time. So the resources listed below will help you do just this. The first is a video from researcher Kelly McGonigal that looks at how shifting your viewpoint on stress can actually improve your health outcomes. The next is a list of resources or a list of ideas from authors Emily and Amelia Nagoski, who wrote the book Burnout: How to Complete the Stress Cycle. They list short things that you can do in 20 minutes or less, many that can even be done in a minute or less, to help you complete the stress cycle and move back into the parasympathetic state. Things like hugging a loved one, squeezing and tensing all your muscles and then releasing them, or doing short bouts of exercise can be helpful. The last thing that we can do to tap into our parasympathetic nervous system is breath work. Breathing is one of the only things that you can do to intentionally tap into your parasympathetic and largely your autonomic nervous system. Remember that most of the things in the autonomic nervous system are happening outside of your voluntary control. So you breathe throughout the day without thinking about it, but you can also stop and hold your breath or change the tempo of your breath voluntarily. Taking slow, deep, deliberate breaths will activate your parasympathetic nervous system and help soothe and control the stress response. So when you hear people say, calm down, just take a breath, it might seem too simple to be true, but it can actually work in helping you navigate your stressors. So the last two videos below are two different breathing techniques that you can do any place, anytime. You don't even have to stop what you're doing, like driving or working on classwork, to do them to help activate your parasympathetic nervous system and calm down. I hope you enjoy these resources around your stress response and find them useful in navigating your stressors as you move forward. Take care.